To talk about the episode Passion, we need to discuss the first 2 seasons. You see, they're not as good as the rest. If you plan to watch Buffy, you need to be in for the long haul to experience its quality. There are good scenes and episodes, but it can be a bit too silly.
You want something to eat?
Sure. Just make it something fattening.
What a disgusting display. I mean, I've never seen a girl throw herself at a guy like that. Ooh. Hello, salty goodness.
Buffy.
Angel.
Why is this happening to me?
So, where do you know Buffy from?
Work.
You work?
Buffy!
Look at this. Show up everywhere.
We thought it'd be fun if we made this a double date.
I didn't know you guys were seeing each other.
Oh, yeah, well, we knew it would happen eventually, so we figured, hey, why fight it?
And you guys are thinking double?
Because of the fun. Hey, maybe we should all go somewhere together. The Sunnydale Funeral Home.
I've always wanted to go there.
The funeral home.
Actually, that sounds kind of cool. Do you think we can all sneak in?
We saw some guys in there before. They seem to be having fun. Hey, Buffy,
You missed it.
Missed what?
we just saw the zebras mating. Thank you, very exciting.
It was like the Heimlich with stripes.
Well, that last roundhouse was kind of sloppy. Are you sure you want to do it again?
No, that's fine. You just run along to class while I wait for the feeling to return to my arms.
You remember, you fail math, you flunk out of school, you end up being the guy at the pizza place that sweeps the floor and says, hey kids, where's the cool parties this weekend? Remember in 6th grade with the field trip?
Right, the guy with the antlers on his belt.
He'll be my deputy.
And remember the hat?
Gee, it's fun that we're speaking in tongues.
I'm sorry.
It was just, we had this, you had to be there.
Simple.
What, she turned invisible because no one noticed her?
Of course.
I think I speak for everyone here when I say, huh?
To look at these 2 seasons more positively, I say the first season is character-based, and season 2 sets up tone. As silly as it may be, Buffy is a show of strong continuity, and callbacks are often. Cause and effect are powerful in this show. So the context is that Buffy through season 1 was a Monster of the Week show. It was a decent way to focus on other characters and get their insights into events. Then they grow from it, learning a lesson of some sort.
They're ever going to have a happy, normal relationship.
We're doomed.
Yeah.
Very formulaic, but it works for the experimental new show on the CW. Buffy defeats an overarching villain called the Master, a very old vampire. So when season 2, episode 1 began, they started to investigate the psychology of Buffy as a character. You see, Buffy dies in the last episode of season 1. She drowned, so she was brought back to life through CPR. Because of this, she never went through the process of getting over her death. After all, the world needed saving. And she was laser focused. So the first episode of season 2 dealt with it. This is what I mean by season 2 sets up tone. That tone being dealing with issues of the characters. Maybe not in one episode, but it will be addressed one way or another. But the silly stuff continues through and some bad story elements. Inca Mummy Girl episode being a shining beacon of badness. Sorry, we are still not done with context. You see, Buffy is in love with a vampire. Not just any vampire, a vampire with a soul named Angel. Once known as Angelus, one of the evilest beings in the old world. One day he killed the wrong person, a gypsy girl. As revenge, her tribe cursed Angel with a soul. All his evil deeds over hundreds of years came back to haunt him. They weighted heavy on his newfound soul. With some help, he decided to give back to humanity, watching over Buffy and helping her win the day. He fell for her, then her in him. However, the curse on him can be broken. You see, Angel and Buffy are not only romantic with each other, they are also lovers. They can't keep their hands off each other. Why this is important is because of how the curse can be broken, a moment of true happiness. Angel loves Buffy so much that the act of love, making, removes it. Angel had returned to his old self, Angelus, the evil vampire with a kind face. Now all that history in the Watcher's diary Giles has is a window to what he is capable of. There are two more characters to cover in this episode about passion when it comes to loving each other. These two are Giles and Jenny. Ever since the first season of episode I, Robot You Jane, Jenny has become a staple of the cast. Jenny is a teacher in Sunnydale High School, the same school Buffy and the gang go to. She teaches computer science and a tech wicked, able to cast spells over the internet. Yeah, season 1 is odd. Anyway, Jenny embraces new ways of battling the supernatural, which is the contrast to the rest of the underworld's view on it. Spells come from books after all, but the world is changing into a new era. This reflects the era the show is made. This is the opposite of Giles, who I mentioned is a Watcher. A Watcher teaches the Slayer, Buffy, to focus on what's important. Giles always does a lot of research for Buffy because not all things just take a stake to the heart to kill.
Why not just put a stake through her heart?
She's not a vampire.
Well, you'd be surprised how many things that'll kill.
Giles has been there since the first episode, and his cover job is a school librarian. He prefers reading old books at home with some brandy or tea. Jenny is outgoing, and Giles is a bit of closed off. Their jobs in fighting dark forces brought them together, but it seems opposites attract. But both are hiding dark sides to each other, and test their relationship. You see, Jenny is a gypsy and raised by the people descended from the girl Angel killed long ago.
Jenny receives a visit from her Uncle Gypsy stereotype, and we discover she's actually a spy planted in Sunnydale to watch over Angel and make sure his curse still holds. The signs have apparently been saying Angel's pain has been lessening.
If this girl gives him 1 minute of happiness, it is 1 minute too much.
What seems like vengeful hyperbole is actually a very specific warning we find out later. Her uncle tells Jenny to break up Buffy and Angel by any means necessary.
This wasn't a good thing for Giles to find out because he sees Buffy as almost as a daughter, so when she felt betrayed, it hurt Giles, and she lied ever since they were going out. Giles' dark side is something he doesn't want to talk about. He didn't want to become a Watcher, so he rebelled by getting into a bad crowd. They used magic to summon a demon to possess one of them to get them high. This is obvious drug allegory, but still, it ended up killing one of them. So they quit. Giles' dark side is something he doesn't want to talk about. He didn't want to become a Watcher, so he rebelled by getting into a bad crowd. They used magic to summon a demon to possess one of them to get them high. This is obvious drug allegory, but still, it ended up killing one of them. So they quit. Because of this, he accepts his role as Watcher and put his dark days behind him when he was called Ripper. His dark side is very aggressive, but Jenny never saw that. Instead, she saw the fallout of it as the demon went inside her, trying to kill Giles.
Hello? It touched her. Is that okay? Show me your eyes. Show me your eyes. Show them to me. Do it. Do it. Do it. Ah!
You've got me.
Under your skin. Was it good for you?
No! That's a really cool shot. That is so cool. That is so cool. Don't know where the green light is coming from, but it looks amazing.
Sure, sometime. Yeah, sometime.
The consequences of that is less trust in Giles from Jenny. But throughout the series, you can still see they love each other. They are separated from each other now. With all that being said, let's get into the episode proper. The episode begins with Buffy and the gang at the Bronze at night, a local club for teens and college students. Angel watching them close as he narrates something, like a poem, and its subject is the title, Passion. The subtext is that Buffy is Angel's passion. An evil love focused on who he loved when he was good. Stalking is a part of the kind of love we find toxic. The theme of passion and the poem will be mentioned in the end. When Buffy makes it home and falls asleep, Angel touches her cheek, his insidious nature laid bare to the audience. The next morning, Angel left an envelope with a drawing paper inside. It's a sketch of Buffy, while she was sleeping. Buffy goes to Giles for help to keep him out for good. You see, once a vampire has been invited, they can enter in whenever. So, he says he will devise a spell to revoke the invite. The gang feel for Buffy and try to comfort her, which leads to a counter to Angel's poem.
This is for you. All right, I don't. But as the Slayer, you don't have the luxury of being a slave to your passions.
A person cannot be a slave to their passion to operate in a normal society, after all. However, sooner or later people will succumb to their emotions, for better or worse. Buffy and Giles know that Angel tortures his targets by messing with their loved ones first. It mixes psychological warfare with his immoral loss of a soul. But for now, there is nothing they can do. All that is left is to find comfort among friends and family, trying to have a normal life. This is a normal method of Buffy as a show, but some of will be flipped on its head. In the next scene, Willow is in Miss Calendar's computer science class. As it ends, Jenny asks Willow to teach her class because she will be late. This lets Giles run into Jenny because he is with Buffy. Their relationship is rocky, but it can be recovered. A spark is still left from interaction from previous episodes.
The unpleasant side effects of betrayal.
Rupert, I was raised by the people that Angel hurt the most. I didn't know what would happen. I didn't know I was going to fall in love with you.
They do love each other, and things are looking up for them. Giles still cares for Buffy and says, "I'm not the person you should be trying to make it right with." Their passion is leading to a brighter future together. 2 romantic relationships, but one is very toxic. Buffy needs to tell her mom, Joyce, something about Angel. She has no idea Buffy is a vampire slayer, or that her and Angel were even dating. Buffy makes Angel to be the obsessive ex-boyfriend, which he is, but still a cover story. After that, we get a view into Willow's room while talking to Buffy over the phone.
And what? Willow?
Thanks for having me over, Buffy.
This is the first taste of Angel messing with Buffy, but still not enough for this to be any different from the norm. This isn't the first time their lives have been threatened directly. The vibe of the show is still the same as ever. Willow reinforces that Angel still loves Buffy.
Well, sort of. Except what? You're still the only thing he thinks about.
Angel returns to his hideout where Spike and Drusilla are. The only thing of note from this scene is that Drew can see parts of the potential future. This refers to Jenny as we see her at a magic shop. She buys an orb which looks like a crystal ball. She said she is trying to decipher some long-lost text with a computer program. This will be a gift to make things right with Giles by making Buffy happy. She has a bad standing with her. This is a way to repair that, at least, to be on speaking terms. So a question is probably running through your mind. Why doesn't Jenny just tell someone she is doing this? This is reason number 1. She is not on good terms with Buffy or her friends, so Jenny has no one to tell. She doesn't tell Giles because it would leak to Buffy in some way. The second reason is that keeping it private means that Angel and his gang will not interfere. We will get back to this subject later. Let's move on for now. The next day, Buffy confronts Jenny on school grounds. Even though Buffy in this moment is led by passion, she comes to an understandable notion in the end. Buffy lays out her feelings for Jenny, telling her she should still feel bad. Sarah's acting here is really good. In her voice and face, you can see she is saying something she does mean, but forcing it out in the wrong way. The good thing to come from this is that Buffy is growing more mature, telling Jenny that she knows Giles misses her. No matter what we feel about each other, Giles shouldn't suffer because of how Buffy feels. Is this Giles' advice getting through? Maybe, but it's also a part of growing up, controlling your emotions and passion. I also think this reinforces Calendar's need to keep it private. Buffy and her are still at odds. After all, Buffy told her to keep feeling bad for what she did. After some time, the gang began to cast a spell to keep Angel out. They begin in Willow's home as they find another envelope on Willow's bed. What they feel is coming true, because Angel has drawn Joyce, Buffy's mother, when she was sleeping. As the audience, we are with Buffy and hope Joyce is safe, but by the next scene, that thought is put to the test. Angel is waiting for Joyce as she pulls into her driveway. The tension rises as the scene plays out. This is some of the best tension we get in the show's history. Angel plays the part of a lovesick person that needs Buffy. It comes with a hint of stalker as well, since he knows Joyce and she knows he's a creep. This is when Joyce panics to open her front door. Angel springs his trap.
I haven't been able to sleep since the night we made love. I need her. I know you understand.
It's not a physical attack on Joyce, it's an emotional attack on Buffy, trying to turn mom on her daughter. More of Angel's mental torture of Buffy's psyche. But Joyce makes it inside the house. Angel is repelled from following. You see, Buffy has cast a spell to revoke the initial invitation. Angel's plan has now backfired a bit, as this is a huge boost to Buffy's confidence. This is transferred to her friends as well. Buffy shuts the door on Angel, forcing him to retreat. We go back to Ginny at the school, working on the spell to give Angel his soul back. Giles enters the scene, as she hides the spell on her computer. Rupert is none the wiser or even suspicious. After all, it could be student work, and it could be in trouble if another teacher saw it. Through their conversation, they seem to be on their way to repair their relationship. Things are beginning to look up for them, as Ginny says she will be coming to Giles' place later. That night, she is still working on her computer as she seems to have cracked the code. She copies it on the diskette and prints it. Ginny is so happy. It will work, she says to herself. But she was too absorbed in her work and didn't notice someone is sitting in her classroom. The camera pans up and Angel is there. The mood has changed. How did Angel know that she was doing all this? Well, Drusilla, Spike's lover, saw the vision and went to the magic shop for information. She found out about Ginny's spell since they had a full conversation about it. Ginny is shocked, alone, afraid, and in extreme danger. She stands no chance against him. Angel destroys everything that could give him back his soul. He takes the printout and tears it apart and burns it from the destroyed computer's flames. Ginny tries to talk him out of it, but Angel laughs it off, saying, "Been there, done that." Angel is now safe from the curse, but there's still one more thing. Miss Calendar herself.
Looks like I get to kill two birds, one stone. The teacher makes three.
Now the chase is on, which Angel's having fun with. Vampires love to see the terror on their victim's face. When it seems like Ginny might get away, Angel moves in front of her and snaps her neck. Angel even quips about her death, as he enjoyed every moment of it.
Sorry, Jenny. This is where you get off. I never get tired of doing that.
The next scene is Giles checking on Buffy by going to her house. Since there's a meta element of the audience knowing Jenny is dead, the conversation Willow and Giles are having is mellow. This lets the viewer deal with what just happened by not having the next scene be a heavier subject. Willow and Giles' conversation is just characters being characters. Buffy and Joyce have a serious conversation. The break is over when Giles leaves. He wants to be with Jenny as soon as possible. The subject of Buffy's and Joyce's talk is about what Angel said about making love. Buffy confirms that they in fact did, which Joyce is disappointed more than angry. This would go back to the episode School Hard, where Buffy must deal with Spike invading the school. Joyce saw that Buffy had a good head on her shoulders and could take care of herself. Part of that disappointment comes from that she had faith in Buffy to make good decisions. But no matter what, the theme comes through. Joyce, no matter what, will care for Buffy because of her passion for her daughter. Being a single mom, Joyce does understand that yelling won't solve this issue. Buffy made a mistake in her eyes, so they learned to deal with the situation. Living under the same roof will do that. Now we come to the next scene, what this episode is known for. The imagery is burned into the brains of most Buffy viewers and fans. Giles comes home and hears music. The music Giles hears is some sort of opera, and the living room is filled with roses, an ice book with a wine bottle, and a handwritten note saying, "Upstairs." Giles looks up, and we see rose petals on said stairs. He goes up with bottle and glasses in hand. The camera slowly zooms, and then we see it, Jenny's body. Giles' reaction is shock and horror as he drops the bottle and glasses. Throughout that whole scene, we knew she was dead, and we were just waiting for the conclusion. Tension is built up of the scene because it takes its time to show the emotions of Giles. The police come and ask Rupert some questions. They might suspect him, but it's understandable. But they allow him to make a call. The call is to Buffy at her house. The narration continues about passion. Unknown to Buffy, Angel is watching her. He knows Giles might call her. He is waiting to see her grief and find joy in it. Angel found a way to hurt Buffy, walking away triumphant when Buffy and the gang thought they won. Xander and Cordelia show up to Buffy's house, and so they go to Giles' home at Buffy's request. When they reach his home, there is yellow police tape on the door, and the place is still filled with romantic items. Buffy concludes that Angel set this up, and the gang have an emotional debate about killing Angel. Xander is pro killing Angel, and Buffy agrees. But the problem is, Giles is going alone. He will get himself killed going after Angel for revenge. His passion for Jenny has led him down this road. Also, from his history as being the Ripper, his dark side is unleashed on Angel with reckless abandonment. We see this when Angel meets up with Spike and Drew again. Angel says he has this under control, but we see he's not in control as you might think, as a table beside them bursts into flames. Angel tries to run, but is shot with a crossbow, missing the heart. We see Giles walking, branding a piece of lumber as he dips it into the fire. He unleashes his anger on Angel, but it's all for naught. Angel recovers and puts a stop to Giles.
You've had your fun, but you know what it's time for now?
My fun!
It seems to be over for Rupert, but Buffy saves him. Just like with Giles, Buffy unleashes her frustration into Angel. So much so, Angel can't really fight back. Buffy has Angel at her mercy, but he smiles. It's like he knows what Buffy is doing and finds joy in her suffering.
You gonna let your old man just burn?
But Buffy can't finish off Angel because the fire Giles started is now spreading. Buffy must let him go to save Rupert's life. The building burns as Giles and Buffy are safe, but not everything is okay. Giles begins to complain to Buffy about interfering in his fight.
Why did you come here? This wasn't your fight.
Are you trying to get yourself killed?
You can't leave me. I can't do this alone.
Both of them are now grief fully now that the fighting is over. Giles knows Buffy is correct in what she did. A sort of one-on-one intervention to begin healing. Now let's talk about something that could ruin this moment. Not killing Angel. You see, Buffy should have just killed Angel instead of beating him up. Let's forget about the meta that we need him for later episodes or whatever. I'm going to defend it from a character perspective. Buffy is not quite in the right state of mind during the fight. Angel affected her father figure emotionally and just almost killed him. She wants Angel punished before finishing him off. Anger clouded her judgment. Buffy and Giles stand at the grave of Miss Calendar. Buffy is sorry that she couldn't finish off Angel. Giles doesn't hold Buffy responsible because of the complexity of the situation. Both have control over their passions, for now. Jenny was the first person that Giles buried that he loved. Angel finally finishes narration on passion. We see Giles return to his home, taking down the yellow tape, a grim reminder of what happened, yet he re-enters that horrible memory. Until a new teacher is found, Willow will take over Jenny's class. She does it with a heavy heart, when earlier she was excited to take over. As a final kick in the gut to the audience, the diskette with the programs to restore Angel's soul falls into the crawl space between the desk and filing cabinet. Then credits. Maybe it'll never be found at all. Her death may be completely in vain. Angel's narration in full goes like this. Passion. It lies in all of us. Sleeping, waiting, and though unwanted, unbidden, it will stir, open its jaws, and howl. It speaks to us, guides us. Passion rules us all. And we obey. What other choice do we have? Passion is the source of our finest moments, the joy of love, the clarity of hatred, and ecstasy of grief. It hurts sometimes more than we can bear. If we could live without passion, maybe we could find some sort of peace. But we would be hollow. Empty rooms, shuttered and dank. Without passion, we would be truly dead. It makes sense this poem comes from Angel. He is commenting on humanity in a broad sense. Angel is 200 plus years old, and he has seen enough to be a good judge on humans. It helps he had his soul back just recently. Angel is stalking Buffy, so these statements apply to him as well. Passion, as I imply in this episode breakdown, is the emotion of love and relationships. Passion is a complex thing, after all, just like all emotions are. It can bleed into other actions. How it affects all the characters, though, is where the theme is center stage. Let's start with Angel and how passion affects him. Since he narrates the poem, he follows it to the letter. He loves Buffy, but because of his lack of a soul, his love is twisted and evil. He has a passion for her, but this also blinds him to just finishing her off, as Spike suggests. His love is a dark reflection when he had a soul. Giles, from the beginning, has been Buffy's work. He is mature, only going out of control when he reaches his limit. Still, he is good at hiding the other side of him, the Ripper. He didn't want Jenny or Buffy to see this in him. Buffy because he has a father's love for her, and Jenny because he wanted to be in a romantic relationship with her. He tells Buffy to have control over her passion, but thanks to Angel's passion, he loses control. Jenny is also blinded by her passion for Giles and trying to get right with Buffy. Betrayal is hard to get over for all three of them. It makes it worse when your life is put in danger because of you keeping secrets, your actions. Jenny would share anything but her family ties. Her people were her life for a long time. When she could heal things, their relationships were rocky. Her passion led to her death, and that conflicted with Angel and his passion. Buffy, on the other hand, seems to be trying to be in control of her passion. However, her head is just barely above water. She wouldn't kill Angel because she once loved him. It's only until it directly affects her that she wishes she would have killed him. Buffy, in this show's context, is about 17 years old. She is mostly reactive to others' actions. She is caught up in everyone else's passions. This gives writing the chance to seem like Buffy is on top of things. But the subtext says different. When she rescues Giles, they burst into their emotional state. Giles has the negative emotional response blaming Buffy for interfering in his revenge. Buffy has more of the positive emotional response by punching Giles and saying she can't do this alone. It's like a mini intervention for Rupert, and he accepts it because he knew he was in the wrong. This episode is about Giles, Jenny, Angel, and Buffy, their relationship to each other. The other characters are good, but they're not the focus. Xander wants Angel dead, and Willow plays his supportive best friend. So why do I think this episode is so important? The reason is it leaves an impact on the audience, and that's because of Jenny's death and how it's handled. The show always had some good continuity, but it never felt like the cause and effect was something not focused on. Ginny being there from almost the start means that maybe even any character could die. This is the episode that focuses on danger on a grounded level. It even affects the next season. The cause and effect of Buffy writing is something everyone should take notes from. This should be the standard, or at least improve on it. Even Buffy coming back to life badly influenced her when she came back home in Season 2. Passion stands out with its tone and grounded nature. They approach people's emotions with maturity. Character writing is on point and sets a precedent for future episodes. Whenever emotions run high in other episodes, it will match something in this one. Buffy becomes a show worth watching from then on. It's not just some WB flavor of the month. It has something to say with its message and character. That message is executed with great skill. With that, I will be all I have for this video. One more thing though, is that this feels like the first episode to actually give you something of merit to watch. It's the trendsetter for every episode of Buffy, therefore out. Kind of like how I said before. But it just feels too different from the rest of the Season 2 episodes. And that's one of the reasons why it makes a strong impression. Next time I will go over the episode The Body. Make sure to check out my podcast Background Noise and check in for more updates. Take care of yourself and bye for now.
This is supposed to summon a person's soul from the ether. You know what I hate most about these things? They're so damn fragile.
What'd you bring me?